Do you disagree with that?
I disagree, yeah.
Really? So,
Not
for example, can I give you an example?
necessarily.
Are you from Africa?
I am, yeah.
So in Africa, for example, we see children at the age of 10, 11 years old, they're running their own business, they're negotiating with people, and they're dealing all those things that a normal adult would do. Would you say an 11-year-old from Africa is more mature than an 11-year-old from the UK? Generally. Just generally. Let's not give exemptions, just generally.
I'm not trying to be difficult, but I feel that the reality is that if you speak to those children, they want to be at school.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Play. They want to do what children want to do.
I'll tell you it depends.
So most
Can I tell you why? Because you know when you're living in conditions where you're not able to feed your own family. I come from Pakistan, you come from Africa.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
if it's a
Money.
thing between school
Yeah.
and feeding your
Yeah.
child, of course everyone's
But
going to do
I
what
think
they can.
we're going to a side point. What I mean is, the reason I'm saying
But
this
you
to you
said
is,
that they're strong,
no,
and
no.
I'm saying I disagree with
Okay,
that.
so you're telling me, so back in the day, you know, in this country, 200 years ago, what was the age limit of marriage in this country? Just 200 years ago.
I'm not sure.
It was around the age of 7 years old, according to William Craigstone, I believe, right?
Yeah.
William Craigstone.
Okay, that's fair enough. What is it today?
Today, I believe it would be 16.
Exactly. So
Would it be
they
16?
have made development.
No, the reason why is
Yeah.
because I 100%.
And not
yeah.
necessarily because of God or whatever,
Yeah.
because they have looked at the society and understood.
No, I agree with you because you know
This
what?
isn't correct. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would have. I don't
Yeah.
really. When it comes to like secular, I'm not really interested in what they're doing.
Yeah.
In fact, it weakens your argument.
Yes.
Because
No.
secular,
Okay.
they are able to have some sort of like more moral sense to
Okay.
understand what could be harmful to young girls more than a religion that is apparently from God.
Okay.
So it actually weakens your argument because their age of consent is actually higher.
I kindly disagree with you, and the reason being is, it's because
it's 16,
I kindly
and
disagree
you
with you.
just said
No, can
yourself-
I give you my reason why I disagree with you?
But the fact that you brought to the table is that
Yeah.
200 years ago it
Yeah.
was 7.
No.
But in
That was not the
2024
reason why I mentioned that. Just to give you the clarification, that's not the reason why I mentioned that.
But in 2024 it's 16,
Can I give you the
so
reason?
it's developed.
Can I give you the reason? Look, you know, at the start of the conversation, I made it very clear that my 6-year-old child, if I have one, they will not be married. Because we know generally in this country that we're living in a very comfortable society. We don't have to go to the farms. We don't have to fight in wars. Everything is given to us. We have Uber Eats. Yes, naturally the kids are not becoming as mature physically and mentally as before. There was a study done as though that testosterone levels are decreasing with men. So these are clear signs to show you that 100% men are not mature. So in the hadith it says, do not reciprocate harm, do not cause harm. So what that basically means that an individual, they cannot marry a child because that can cause harm for the child. So that's one criteria. The other criteria, Aisha herself, I want to give Aisha as an example because unfortunately many Christians use Aisha's marriage against us. But what we say is that Aisha in a hadith in Sunan Ibn Majah or is it Sunan Bayhaqi, she stated when a woman reaches the age of 9, she reaches the age of puberty, and that's herself from saying that. So would you trust her?
Can you slow down and repeat that?
No problem. Sorry for that. Yeah, maybe I was speaking too fast.
Yeah,
I do apologize. I've got a very bad habit with that. Yeah.
He was playing
Yeah.
with the dog.
We're having a conversation, sir. Sir, we're having a conversation.
Never had a man-
We're having a conversation. Let's just ignore him because
Never had
he's
a
not
man-
gonna.
You are a
Remember you said no
liar.
hecklers,
You are a
sister.
liar. Like you
Remember
are
you said there's no
a
hecklers.
liar.
What have I done?
Lie. Don't
Okay, can I respond to that? Yeah. That's fine. Please don't
So
heckle.
just repeat what you said.
That's fine, yeah.
Very fast.
Yeah, no problem. So in the hadith, it clearly states that we're not supposed to cause harm, we're not supposed to reciprocate harm. So what that clearly means, that if an individual marries a child that's 5 years old, 6 years old in this country, that person would be classified as a pedophile. Why? Because he's causing harm and reciprocating harm. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam clearly said you cannot do that. That's why Aisha, she said when at the age of women, at the age of 9, woman at that time, she was in Yemen, she stated the woman reaches the age of puberty at the age of 9. Why? Can I give you just 30 seconds, if you don't mind? Just 30 seconds. I totally appreciate your question, just 30 seconds. Back in the days, people used to die much more quicker. The life expectancy was very low. People used to die 15, 16 years old. They were in battles. Of course, they're going to marry at an early age to multiply. Do you understand?
Really, I mean, but with see, I've
No problem.
so fast.
Which point that you want to
Sorry,
make?
Slow down a bit,
Yeah,
slow
I'll
down.
slow
Age
down.
of the male should be the same.
One thing,
Then there is
when
no
you're
problem.
speaking, it's not possible for you to
No problem, that's
do
fine.
5 points.
No problem, that's
Because
fine.
I
It was all
wanna forget
connected.
all of-
My bad,
I
though, my bad.
appreciate that,
My bad,
and
my
it's
bad.
nice if we can do one
My
point
bad,
at
no
a time.
problem.
It's
No
difficult.
problem.
So you said that Aisha said that when a female reaches 9, that they reach the age of puberty, their womanhood.
Puberty, yeah.
Okay, so who is Aisha to say that?
Aisha is the wife of the greatest man that ever existed and the best example to mankind.
But still though, Aisha who is Aisha to say that?
She is.
Because before we
Are you
were
talking
saying-
about Muslims
Hold on
or
a moment.
everyone?
Before we were saying that, I don't know if it was him, maybe you disagree with him, but he was saying that everyone matures different.
Everyone what, sorry?
Everyone matures different.
Absolutely, yes.
So even in those times of war and what have you, it doesn't stop the fact that they still develop differently, isn't it? At
Agreed.
different stages.
Agreed.
So that's why I'm saying, who is Aisha as in, is she
I
a
understand.
wonderful person? I'm not talking about that. But her as an individual, what evidence does she have to say that a woman reaches puberty at 9?
That's a very good point.
How?
I think that's a very good question that you're asking, and it's a very fair question to ask. That right now, the legal age limit in this country, I believe, is 16. So the government, can I just, I know, I understand. So the age limit is 16. So the government came to some conclusion that people mature at the age of 16, that they can have kids, that they can get married. But it doesn't mean that every single person that's over the age of 16 is mature physically or mentally. So when Aisha radiallahu anha stated that, it was a general ruling which we have in Islam, that generally speaking, at the time of Yemen, at the time of harsh conditions, at the time of war, at the time when life expectancy is so low, people used to mature quicker, and that's why she said the age of puberty for most women at that time was 9 years old.
Okay, so with the government now, in terms of 16, yeah, there's a lot of research that has been done, there's a lot of studies that have been done to basically track, generally speaking. The fact is, you're not going to catch everything. It's impossible.
Absolutely,
There's
yeah.
always going to be people that mature earlier, later.
You're right.
But generally speaking, they realize that by researching and understanding whatever, this is a decent benchmark to capture most people, because generally speaking, they do mature at that time. But this is based on studies, working with different people. So again, where does Aisha get her authority as a single individual who, with all due respect, was married at 6 and was taking a very big responsibility? Where does she get her authority to say that a woman reaches that
Okay,
age?
I will answer your point, but just to defend Aisha's honor, she became the biggest female scholar of Islam. So she became something very powerful. Anyways, back to the point.
Let me say something.
That's the honor.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't dishonor Aisha.
That's fine, no problem.
I don't disrespect her.
I appreciate that, yeah.
I don't say she was this, that, and the rest of it. That's a female. I'm not a female.
Yeah.
We're women. Yeah. So
I just wanted to say you because the way you said who is Aisha, I understand where you're coming from.
but
No, because
I
of
just meant
because of the rulings,
what authority
of the
does she
rulings.
have?
Yes, I agree. I understand.
Sorry, the way I speak, I
No.
don't speak.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think.
Eloquent and all that stuff.
I think that's.
just meant
yeah.
who is she like?
No, I
what's
think
her
that was quite like fair what you said. So no
Yeah,
problem. I
so
understand where you're coming
just to
from.
say, I'm
But
not
yeah.
disrespecting
No, that's fine.
Aisha.
So thing is, yeah, sister, do we need to know by science that 1400 years ago people were more mature and physically mature? Do we need science for us to know this?
It's not just about science, it's about engaging with different people.
But do we need
And-
science? Or do you think it's something natural for us to know that naturally as human beings that we evolve according to our environment?
When did she say that, by the way? When did she say that?
1400 years ago.
No, I mean, how old was she?
I'm not too sure about the age.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I'm not going to accept that point because she's an
No, that's fine, but
individual.
look-
It's not up to an individual
No.
to say that at that age.
Yeah.
That is when a person.
No, but the thing
reaches
is, we have a
puberty.
general consensus as well that even scientists would, because if you want to use science, I don't need to go to science, but if you want to go to science, even scientists, individuals say to you that a man's testosterone levels are decreasing. Not just that, there was an experiment done as well for fishes. They exposed fishes to hot conditions and cold conditions, and they came to the conclusion that fishes matured much more quicker when they were exposed to hot conditions. So at that time, in Saudi Arabia, not Saudi Arabia at that time of Hijaz, Arabian Peninsula, when people were living in such hot conditions, we have no AC, they have no windows, they don't have protected clothing, they're living in very difficult, harsh, hot conditions. Of course, we're gonna mature.
disputing all that.
So that's why. But the problem is the ruling, right? Is it the ruling?
Hold on, man. I'm
What's
not-
the issue? Yeah.
I'm not going to dispute about hot conditions and everything.
Oh, what's the issue
I don't
then?
know about all that. So
Okay.
There's no point in me arguing
Yeah,
with you about
that's fine,
that.
that's fine.
But my issue is that, well, based on what you were saying, Aisha doesn't have authority to say that it's 9. The reality is, in today's age, we know that it's not 9.
I agree with you, but sister, I think it's my misunderstanding. I think maybe I didn't explain.
Because
Yeah,
one more thing.
yeah.
We believe that
Yeah.
the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a universal messenger sent for all mankind and jinn until the day of judgment. So therefore, rationally, logically speaking, the Islamic legislation will be universal, and that's the reason why the age is not stipulated, because there are principles in place. So that's the reason why we agree with you that if there is a
Principles are
if,
insufficient.
yeah, but if there was a Sharia that was implemented in the UK, we have no problem for the government to accept the legal age of 16.
For example,
Because we
Saudi.
understand-
Yeah.
So that's the beauty about Islam, because it's universal, it will not stipulate an age, because we know that it changes over time.
But it doesn't matter about that.
Secondly,
but it's insufficient what has been stipulated.
No, that, I know that, I understand that.
Because
But
all the four, and I think someone said it doesn't encompass everything, but the four conditions he mentioned were physical based.
Mentally,
not
mentally.
necessarily. Not
Well, he
necessarily.
said
said,
mentally.
he said one menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
One.
One of the attributes of a woman to be mature. One.
No.
That's not the only. Not the only.
No,
Not the
but
only.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, when we look at
A woman could fulfill the menstrual cycle, but it does not mean she reaches the age of marriage.
Have you heard the amenorrhea? Have you heard the amenorrhea before? Amenorrhea. Have you heard the condition? It's a syndrome where women have reached the age of puberty, but they haven't undergone menstruation.
Yes.
So just because a woman hasn't undergone menstruation, that doesn't mean that she's not mature. Some
is
women
that the majority though? Is that an anomaly?
It's an exception.
Exception.
There's an
Exactly.
anomaly. Oh, wait, hang on.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about generally.
But can I ask you a question, madam? If you have a 40-year-old man or woman who is disabled, who's mentally retarded, do you think he or she is fit to get married? Despite the fact that that person is 40 years old. Does that person meet the criteria to get married?
If he has some sort
The answer is no. So it's not about the age, it's about meeting the principles. That's the reason why
But
Islam...
also, maybe there's a contradiction, or maybe I'm misinformed, or maybe I've misunderstood.
Yeah.
But there is something called an iddah.
Okay.
Idda, yes.
The Quran
And
verse.
it also includes prepubescent girls. So if it includes prepubescent girls, then they can't fulfill that stipulation.
No, but what I'm saying here is that the principle, as the brother said correctly, the general principle is that there can't be any harm. She has to show maturity, and it is possible that some women, they delay the menstruation. So when you're mentioning from
Wasn't it
Surah
that you have to have one menstrual, right? That's what you said.
No.
That's not the only criteria.
As long as she's mature.
But you said
Wait,
one
one second.
menstrual cycle.
No, that's not right.
No,
It's
I
not-
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
I said that's one of the attributes. I said yeah.
She is not
So
mature.
wait, hold on. So if it's one, they have to fulfill all?
No.
Or most?
No.
Or one or two?
If she shows physical...
Because you said menstrual cycle and
Okay,
you
that's
repeated
fine.
I disagree with him that.
I need to see, at this stage,
I didn't
need
say
to
that,
see
but
the
yeah,
source.
come.
I need to see the source.
Yeah,
We
but
didn't say that's the only.
Yeah, but that ayah...
I never said it's the
Bro, I
only,
need to clarify
but
now.
you
Yeah,
said
I need to clarify. I need to clarify. I really need to clarify now, yeah, because you're
I see the source
no,
at this
but
point?
you can do, but this is very important because I believe there's a claim against me that I said that menstruation is one of the only criteria for a woman to become mature. I am
never
not saying
said
that. I'm not saying that.
I'm
saying
either.
no in the Quran.
I
look,
am not saying that
no.
either. You're saying that there was criteria,
Yeah.
and one of those criteria is one menstrual cycle. But you have an iddah that accounts for prepubescent girls that do not have their menstrual cycle.
No.
So how do
See,
you account for
okay,
that?
no problem. I can
So
respond to
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
I can respond to that. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
for argument's sake, can you show me in the Quran or the Hadith where it gives these particular stipulations?
Okay, firstly, yeah, no problem at all.
I want to see that because
No.
it's different, and I'm arguing to the sky.
No problem. That's
Let's
fine.
see it.
Firstly, it's the claim. Now you're saying about the prepubescent women, yeah, because you're saying that these individuals do not menstruate. This Quran verse is not talking about that. What this Quran verse is specifically talking about is specifically talking about individuals.
which?
Wait, the verse about the prepubescent women, about the iddah period,
The
yeah?
iddah,
Wait, I have
in
to
terms
respond.
of divorce,
I have to respond to that. If you go to what the scholars have said, the ulama, what they have stated, this is applied to individuals that are not able to get their menstruation. As you can see, there's many women out there that are not able to have their menstruation. So this specific verse is according to the Bro, get the verse Quran.
It
Baba,
doesn't say that. It
get the
doesn't say
Quranic verse. Okay, that's fine.
It says
There is
who
no
haven't.
there is no
It doesn't say.
Get the Quran verse out.
You're talking about Surah Talaq, Surah 64, Ayah 4, correct? It mentions...
Let me find.
let him read the verse.
So I got Ibn Kathir here.
Yeah.
It does not mention prepubescent.
Exactly.
It means there are three categories.
Yes.
One is the old, who stop their menstruation has stopped. One is the pregnant woman.
Yep.
And one is the young ones.
Yes.
So this ayah, the part about those who have not
So
menstruated...
I'm asking you, are you saying that there is no hadith or tafsir that explains further on that?
Yeah, this is Ibn Kathir.
This is the explanation.
This is the
Okay, let me
explanation
show you.
here.
This is the explanation.
Yeah.
You wanted that?
Yeah.
Let me show you.
So
Let me see this.
yeah, you can read this. You can read this.
You
No
can read
problem.
it. You can read it.
So what is this then?
So this is the three categories.
No, where is this from?
This is from the Ibn Kathir tafsir of Surah 65, Ayah 4. So it's talking about three different types of women.
Look at the Quran
You have the
verse.
old ones with their menopause, their menstruation has stopped.
Sorry,
The second is the pregnant woman.
I'll
and
listen to you, then I'll read it because I can't listen and
Then the
read
third
at the
one
same
is
time,
regarding to
friend.
those women who hasn't started menstruation. So it doesn't speak about prepubescent here.
Yeah, who haven't.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
does that
So
necessarily?
not couldn't, haven't.
But madam, you have even 16-year-old girls who haven't even gone through menstruation and they're still mature. This is what it's talking about. It's not talking about prepubescent.
There's verse in the Quran as well. Can I read the
When
verse?
it says haven't, it means that they haven't
No,
had a
no,
menstrual.
no. It's called amenorrhea. It's very, very common.
I've seen
It's
with
actually
my own
common.
two eyes.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Sorry,
show you.
I-
Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Can I also mention the Quran verse as well? Yeah, in the Quran it clearly
Sorry, I
states.
can't do it like that.
No, but you asked for evidences. You said show me.
I bring
But
the
wait,
evidence.
So
wait,
now
let
we're
me-
getting-
I haven't even read it.
Yeah,
So
sure,
whilst you're reading it, can I read the Quran verse?
Doesn't mention anything.
Well, you're going to be reading it for everyone else because I can't listen and engage with you.
Fair
and
enough,
read
that's
this
fine.
and
That's
comprehend.
fine, no problem. You can read that.
So
You can
you
read
can
the verse.
say it, but then
That's
you
fine,
may
no
need to
problem.
read it as
No,
well.
I was just talking about the Quranic verse where it says you shall test the orphan.
By the way, she's conflating nikah
Yeah.
in terms of the
marriage
contract marriage
Ah.
and consummated marriage.
Yes.
That's where you are confusing. This is talking about the
It doesn't
consummated marriage.
matter. The fact is, to divorce, if you can divorce someone who, let's say, just off argument.
Okay.
If there is provision to divorce a prepubescent,
Yes.
then it means that you had nikah.
No.
you
It's like an
had
engagement.
marriage
No.
with someone
No,
who's
no.
No, this is where you miss
prepubescent.
the word the Arabic
With
nikah.
divorce,
Nikah is only
Arabic
consummated. Nikah only.
One second. The Arabic nikah has two different meanings. The first meaning is sexual intercourse.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's very
You know,
sensitive.
you have to explain the language.
I have
Yeah.
to say, yeah. So that's the first meaning, sexual intercourse. The second meaning is contractual marriage.
Yes.
Now there's two different types of marriage. The contractual marriage where you betroth, meaning that, for example, even a person before they're born, a father can agree with another father, let's get our son and daughter
Yes.
to get married.
Right now it happens. Right now
it
in
happens.
Pakistan it happens.
Iddah, listen.
It's an engagement.
One second,
The
madam.
iddah
Yes.
is for divorce.
I agree.
And what's the purpose of it?
No,
to
no.
ensure that if a woman is pregnant,
Yes.
that you know whose it belongs
But
to.
it's also talking about
To
young
have
women.
pregnancy, unless you're married, that means that you're having sex.
So are you telling me all 18-year-olds have undergone through menstruation? Or are there
But you're
exceptions?
appealing to a minority. You're appealing to
The
an
minority is still in
exception.
evidence. It's still in evidence.
No, you're appealing to an exception.
No, that's called amenorrhea syndrome. It's actually quite
Are
common.
you aware of that, by the
Are
way?
you aware of that? If you check in the NHS website,
Yeah.
it's very common.
No.
Yeah, there's many women that are not able to have menstruation. There's
Yeah.
the old people that don't
There's
have
delayed
menstruation.
menstruation.
So the Quran
it
verse
appeals
talks
to
about
that.
them.
It appeals to that as
Oh, you
well.
agree with that?
There is, I'm going to show you.
you agree with
you're
that?
te- you're
I'm
telling-
showing you that. I'm going to show you where I got it from, and
Right.
it makes provision for prepubescent and also those who have passed
No,
that
you
stage.
are conflating between consummated marriage and contractual marriage.
To have an iddah means that you are married.
About consummated marriage.
Exactly.
Exactly, that's the point.
So you're having sex with
so the question I asked,
prepubescent.
aren't there
But it
young
doesn't
women?
satisfy
Yeah, but madam,
this
aren't there
condition.
young women who haven't undergone menstruation yet, but they reached the age of puberty and they're mature?
So if it says prepubescent, then where do we stand?
Where does it say
Okay,
prepubescent?
let me show you.
You got the Quran verse right now, haven't you?
Yeah, I got. This is Ibn Kathir. See?
Can't even spell it.
We got the Quran verse right in front of us,
I've got the verse
and
here,
we got
I've
the
got
Tafsir Ibn
commentary
Kathir about it as
here. It's
well.
not talking about prepubescent. It's just talking about some young women. They have delayed menstruation
Yeah.
and they haven't undergone.
The problem is you don't understand. Like, you know, back home in our countries, what we do is, in the English language they call it marriages, isn't it? But the thing is, it's like more like an engagement in English terms. And the nikah is only when the marriage is consummated. How is it consummated physically?
No, nikah is still there,
Yeah.
but but this ayah is
Yeah.
referring to
Consummation, yeah, exactly.
not contractual
Yeah,
marriage.
yeah.
She's talking about the prepubescent,
Yeah,
not contractual marriage.
exactly.
That's different.
Have
Exactly.
young women that have not yet menstruated.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
you agree with
prepubescent
us?
women.
Sorry.
A woman that has not yet menstruated is a prepubescent.
No,
We have to explain it again. Explain it again
What
now.
is it then?
Not
This is the third
necessarily.
time explaining. Go and carry on. Third time
There are
explaining.
some women that have reached the age of maturity. They've reached the age of
That is
puberty.
a woman
Let him
that
finish,
has
let him
not
finish, let him finish.
They don't have to. They don't have to depict all of the signs. As long as they show maturity. Wait, 1 second.
They have to let him finish.
Those
And
who have
there are
menstruated
breast
and
development.
those who
There are
have not.
wait, 1 second.
They take
1
it-
second.
You have to let him finish.
Are you
One at a
letting me
time. He's
finish?
answering your
Are you
question.
letting
Allow
me
him to
finish?
finish. Let him
Yeah, but I
finish.
don't agree with it.
Allow him to finish, then you can respond.
Hang on. In Islam, particularly the woman,
Iddah, waiting
they only
time.
have to show
Listen.
some sort of physical development, yeah, pubic hair, and maturity. Menstruation is not a condition. You can still have a 16-year-old, 18-year-old who haven't started the menstruation. It's called
But you could
amenorrhea.
also have an 8-year-old.
Have you called amenorrhea? Have you heard?
But then you could also have an 8-year-old.
Have you heard
yeah?
amenorrhea syndrome?
Well, then you could also have an 8-year-old.
Can you check the NHS?
No, I'm sure that they didn't know what amenorrhea is 1400 years ago.
They don't need to know the label.
And
It's
I'm
the,
sure
it's the
that
condition.
It existed. It existed.
Are you
It
sure
existed.
today? Show me that it
Existed.
existed.
And what about older women?
The
Mention.
criteria that you've just said
Okay, 1
works
second.
for an 8-year-old as well, that maybe has a bit of hair but has not yet
But it's not about the
menstruated.
age. I didn't say about the
But
age.
Your criteria
I
works
didn't
for
say.
both.
I didn't say about the age.
But it works works for both.
see, this is the problem.
But that criteria that you just said works for both. It would work for an 8-year-old.
Can a 40-year-old? I asked you this
No,
question.
I found that.
I'd like to ask you. I'd like to ask you this question. If you have a 40-year-old woman, if you have a 40-year-old woman who's mentally retarded, is she fit to get married? Yes or no? According to you. So it's not about the age.
It's not about physicality.
No, I'm
It's
not
about
asking
sound
about
judgment. In the Quran, it says sound judgment.
Prepubescent.
In the-
Prepubescent.
Look, in the-
Because if you are prepubescent, then you are not developed. You're not mature in
Exactly,
any
you're
sense.
not developed.
So that's what we're
Puberty is
talking
when
One second,
about.
one
It's
second.
not about
maturity,
age.
Look.
physically and maturity.
Okay, let's respond. In the Quran, there's a clear verse that states, you have to read this, yeah? You shall test the orphans when they reach the age of marriage, yeah? It's talking about general meaning. Then if you sense in the sound, them sound judgment, you shall hand them over to them their money and do not consume it wastefully or quickly before they've grown up.
Yeah,
So
that's
clearly,
the part
this
puberty,
is no.
innit?
This clearly, this is one of the evidences that the sound judgment is one of the criterias for an individual to get married,
Puberty,
and it's not just menstruation, as the brother
Exactly,
mentioned.
exactly.
Wait, can I respond? As the
Yeah.
brother mentioned, there's many elderly individuals. They're not able to have menstruation.
Exactly.
The Quran verse is talking about them. And
Exactly.
same thing when it comes to the nikah of young people. And like I told you,
So
in
what
Pakistan,
what's going to
after this
happen if I find it then?
find whatever you want to, no problem. We know our
that counts
Quran.
for everything.
Alhamdulillah, we know our Quran. We know what we're saying.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they don't know the criteria. We're explaining to you the
Okay,
criteria,
okay.
sister.
Right,
Yeah.
but she's saying that menstruation is the only.
It's not the
condition
only
that needs to be
criteria.
met.
Don't twist my words.
What did you say?
Because we agreed that when you pass puberty, that would include your
No,
mental.
not necessarily. See, you don't listen. Just because you pass the age of puberty, that doesn't mean everyone's fit to get married.
Exactly.
You don't get the point, do you?
So
You don't listen.
if
It's
you
not the only
pass
criteria.
puberty-
That's not the
okay.
only criteria.
So definitely we can agree that if you haven't passed puberty, then you're definitely not ready, correct?
Okay, can I say?
Yes or no?
Sorry, say again.
You're saying if someone passes puberty, that doesn't necessarily mean they're ready for marriage.
Agreed.
So if you haven't even passed puberty, then we can definitely agree that
Not
you're
necessarily.
definitely not ready.
Okay,
Marriage
when you
or
say-
consummation, brother? You have to explain.
wait,
Marriage and
Adam,
consummation.
What is prepubescent by definition?
So after
Do you know
all
the
this
definition of what you're
conversation, then
asking?
you're asking me this.
Yeah, but do you know the definition of what you're asking?
But hold on a minute. I was talking about menstrual cycles. Then we agreed that we're talking about puberty, and now
You-
you're
you
asking
used the
me.
word prepubescent,
No,
so-
you guys.
I
No,
didn't.
you did.
No.
We never
you
mentioned
guys
it.
did.
You can go back on
Recorded,
tape.
by the way.
Sister,
Go back.
I didn't even mention
Okay,
prepubescent once.
I would like
let's
you
not
to
argue.
tell us. I would like you to tell us what do you understand by the definition of prepubescent? Prepubescent by definition mean a female or male that's undergoing puberty. Now in Islam, if she's undergoing puberty, but she meets the condition that she's mentally mature
Sound judgment.
and there's some physical
No,
development,
Yeah.
she's fit to get married.
This is Quran. Quran says this.
That's it.
When he talks about the
Khalas.
handing the orphans,
Wait,
they need to
wait,
have
wait,
sound
wait,
judgment.
wait.
So
Khalas.
look, Islam is the only religion. We don't have an age limit. We have criteria. Mental
know the
maturity,
definition. Let
me just
physical
focus on
maturity.
the
And she's
hadith.
using the
Yeah.
word and she doesn't
Have you got the
believe.
hadith?
We know what we're talking about.
No,
Have you got the
I
hadith?
want you to
I
tell
think
me.
you're being very dishonest.
No, you
know
used
what
the
we're
word.
talking
You used the word
about.
prepubescent, and I want you to tell me how did you understand the term prepubescent, because I know.
So if I say I don't know what it means, then what?
So why using the word without knowing the definition?
So what though? What does that mean?
Oh, come on, sister.
It means that you don't know what you're talking
Listen,
about.
Come
no,
on.
it doesn't
You have to be
mean that, and
sincere.
lot are
You have to be
so
sincere,
dishonest.
madam.
We're being dishonest.
I'm
being
giving you
very
the definition.
dishonest.
Tell us how
I'm
we're being
giving you the
dishonest.
You're
definition,
being very
madam.
dishonest.
Tell us how we're being
You're
dishonest.
being very dishonest, and
I'm
you
not.
know you are.
Tell us how,
And
tell
it's
us how.
a shame because you know what God sees you.
Tell us
You
how.
never used the word
Exactly.
prepubescent. You have.
Apparently,
Tell us
they
how.
need me to explain to them what prepubescent is.
Of course, you're using
know
the term
what it means.
prepubescent.
You want a scientific term.
I want you to tell me what you
want
mean.
a scientific term. Is that what you
No.
want?
No,
It's a definition.
I just want you to tell me how you understood the word prepubescent.
I didn't even explain it as
Why
well
do you need
before.
to search? You use the word prepubescent, so you are
Well,
conscious.
I want to give a technical term.
Oh, so you don't know?
It's not that I don't know,
So
but
tell
it's
me,
about having a technical
what
term.
is the definition?
Listen, you bombarding me doesn't stop the fact that there is an iddah for divorce where men can
We've
marry
explained that multiple times.
Madam,
children. They can marry children.
madam, I want you to tell me.
Prepubescent is a child.
I want you to tell me, according to you,
It's a child.
whether you're right or wrong doesn't
It's
matter.
a child.
What is the definition of prepubescent?
It's a child.
No.
It's a child.
No, it's not.
It's
No,
a
it's not.
baby that is not
No, it's
ready
not.
for marriage.
No, it's not.
It's a baby
No,
that
it's not.
is not
Can you
developed
check up the definition?
mentally,
It means a
sexually,
female
physically,
or a male that
emotionally.
undergoes puberty.
No, it's pre.
Thank you.
It's pre, which is before.
The key word, transition.
Pre is before.
Google it.
goodness.
Google it.
Google it. Google it.
Google it. Google it. Google it. It's fine.
Everyone knows that pre.
Just Google it. It's
is
fine.
before.
Google it. Google it.
Google it.
Pre is not.
Okay, Google it then.
Before.
We already
Pre
explained to
is
you.
Before.
It's a transformation.
It's a transition.
Pre is
Transition, yeah.
before. Pre is not
La hawla
transition.
wa la
Pre
But I don't think this conversation is going anywhere
before.
anymore. We've explained to you the criteria of marriage in Islam.
No,
You
listen.
don't agree with it, that's up to you. We've conveyed the message. We're not
The
here to
fact
convince you.
is,
Islam
in
does
this
not
day and
allow
age,
Yeah.
Child marriages happen.
Islam does
in
not allow
Islamic
child
territories,
marriage
and they are
consummation.
relying-
Islam does not allow
they are
that.
relying on
I'm telling
it,
you,
it's prescribed.
that's not true.
You have an
Because why
iddah,
did Prophet Muhammad wait 3
you
years
have
then?
an iddah, you
Why
have
did
an
Prophet Muhammad
iddah
wait 3 years?
Which accounts for prepubescent.
Okay, why did Prophet Muhammad wait 3 years?
Her hair was falling off. Her hair was falling off apparently.
Why did he wait in 3 years?
So she could
But
grow
why
hair.
was he? Why was he?
There we go, it's ridiculous,
But why was
it's
he
ridiculous.
presenting marriage to a 6-year-old
Ridiculous.
in the first place if she wasn't ready?
Look at even in Pakistan when you're 0 year
You're
old.
not
No,
answering
no,
the
wait 1
question.
second. I'll answer the question.
If you're
I'll
saying
answer the
that
question.
she wasn't ready at 6 years old,
I'll answer the
why
question.
are grown men presenting marriage to her if she
Okay,
is
firstly,
not ready?
when it comes to traditions back home,
And let me
no,
tell you
you have to let us.
something.
No, you're preaching
Both
now.
of you have been talking.
You're preaching.
I don't care. I'm talking now. Okay.
That's not the way to
Because
communicate now.
You said that fathers know their children more.
Of course.
I disagree with that because fathers are away at home. It's the mothers who suckle and wean them that know their child. So I'm confused as to why a father
I
would
think
be
you've been
in a
heavily influenced by
position.
secularism, liberalism. You have. You don't go by the traditional
Fathers,
Christianity.
sorry.
What is the age of
I'm going
marriage
to
according to the
continue
Bible?
what I'm saying.
But that's true, isn't it?
I'm going to continue what I'm saying.
But you've been victimised. You've been victimised by
reality
liberalism and
is
secularism.
fathers
You
are
have.
out at work, and if we're talking about back in the day and all that, realistically,
Fathers are the leaders.
fathers are the leaders.
Yes,
fathers
exactly.
Are getting the bread and
Look,
butter.
exactly.
The women are at home with the children.
Yes.
The father is not in a position to know their children intimately like their mother. Why can't the mother
It depends.
have a say?
It depends.
It's not depends.
It's nurturing.
general.
No, it's not general.
Who
Let me speak.
Who grew
Can I-
you?
no,
Who
look,
grew
look,
you?
I agree with you. The value.
Who grew
I agree with you.
Who grew you? Was it your mother or father?
Both of them.
Be honest.
Yep.
Who was with you more?
No, look, that's different. That's a
Who was
different.
with you more?
That's every single person loves their mother sometimes more,
No,
sometimes
who
father.
was with you
That's
more?
different. I appreciate
Why
my
are you making it
mother.
personal?
You're
Why
making
are
it very
you making it
personal. You're making it very
Why are you
personal.
making
In
it
Islam, I'm supposed to
I'm not
love.
making it
In
personal.
Islam,
About his
okay,
life.
Islamically, I'll answer. I'll answer. No, I'll answer
It's a
Islamically.
general thing.
Islamically, I'm supposed to love my mother
I
more
was
than my
with my
father.
mom more.
Yeah, Islam says that.
If you know what with your dad's mom,
Madam,
that's
you don't
fair
even know
enough,
the
but
term
that's
pre
not
Muslim.
general.
This is becoming a
And
bit
you want
like.
to-
But you don't know that pre means before.
Why are we
So
speaking
I-
about gender
I
now?
give you the definition.
No, you said pre is
I gave the
Pre is
definition.
before.
A
Pre
male
is
or
before.
female that is transitioning towards
Pre is
puberty.
before. You don't even know what pre means. So who are you correcting?
I do. It means before.
Exactly. Now
What
because
is your
I corrected
point?
you.
What is your
But
point,
you're
madam?
saying pre is transition.
But did you understand the Islamic
I don't
paradigm?
care. Pre
Oh, so you don't
is
care.
before.
No, you have to be sincere
Pre
now.
is
The
not
conversation's getting a bit out of hand now.
No,
Let's be
because you
sincere.
No, no, no.
care.
If you don't want to have a
You don't
conversation, then there's no
like it
point.
When I place it on you, you guys
There's
are not
nothing
being
to pace.
sincere.
There's nothing
you
to
don't
pace.
know what prepubescent
You're not able to
Pre
answer.
is before,
You're-
not transition.
you're not
I
able to-
corrected you.
It
and
means
I told
transition,
you.
undergoing
it
development.
Means pre, it means before.
Oh,
So it hadn't even touched puberty.
Sister is all on camera. You can see it for yourself. Everything is written.
exactly.
Everything is clear. I
I'm
don't
the
think
one
you're
that gave
sincere.
definition.
In Islam, we
She has
told
to
you.
search.
We told you clearly the criteria
2
of
seconds
marriage.
I was sincere,
No,
now I'm not
I didn't say that you're
sincere.
sincere. I didn't say that. I said be sincere. But what I'm saying to you is
You,
that in
Are
Islam,
you saying that I'm not sincere?
I'm
Why
saying
am I
I'm
not
saying be sincere because you're not listening to the conversation now. You're just talking over us. And the thing is,
What do you mean I'm
let me
talking over
tell you
you?
why. Let me tell you why.
By the way, there's two of you.
We've given you
and
answers.
When I'm looking for something, you speak.
We've given you answers.
Yeah, but I'm talking to you, I'm not talking
We've
to
given you the answers. In Islam,
You are talking to me.
in Islam,
I was talking to him.
What
in
do you
Islam.
mean?
Oh, come on, man.
You
This is
were looking at
becoming
me
very.
like
Having a
How do you know?
conversation, so you're
Anyway,
talking-
that's
you're
petty.
talking
It's
to
becoming
some-
confrontational. I don't want to
That's
petty.
have a
That's
confrontation
petty.
discussion with the woman,
Obviously
to be honest.
talking to me. Why are you
So we
talking
end the
to someone
conversation.
that's
So
on
you're
the
looking at the
same
phone and you know who I'm talking to. Right. So let's go
So
back
who
to
are you
business.
trying
Let's
to
go back.
convince?
Let's go back to
Are you
business. I'm
convincing
not here to
me or
convince you.
him?
We're not here to convince you.
Yeah, but you're giving me your point
not
of
here
view.
to convince you,
So
madam.
why are you talking and giving the same point of view that you have?
I'm not
You're
here to-
obviously
we're not
talking
here to
me.
convince you,
Conversation's
madam.
getting out of hand.
Silly.
Yeah. Fill out the question that what you're going to ask according to the Bible.
According to the Islamic
we're going on
tradition,
another thing again.
according to
Let me
Islamic
find
tradition,
Yeah.
a male or female
Yeah.
has to show some signs of physical development.
Okay.
Pubic hair for female, breast development,
One curly hair.
and
You're ready.
maturity.
Okay.
Maturity.
Sound judgment. Sorry.
Now,
You're
sound
ready.
judgment.
not all females undergoes menstruation.
Yes.
It delays, and this is what the ayah is talking about.
You agree
That's
or
not a
disagree?
generalization.
Have a good day.
But that is exceptional.
Okay, this,
Okay, you don't-
we've already explained now. We should end the conversation.
We'll end the
End the
conversation.
Why? Because
conversation.
you don't want me
No, you're
to
not
bring
able to
that
answer.
later?
You're not able to answer the
can't-
question.
you can't-
We've literally
What
proved to
question
you.
have I not
No,
answered?
we literally proved to you as
What
well
question have I
the
not
criteria.
answered?
The criteria of marriage in Islam. In Islam, we have sound judgment. We have development as well for a woman.
And
You have to be
said that
mentally.
they have to satisfy everything.
Thing is, we know what
which
they do.
includes a menstrual
No,
cycle.
not every single criteria has to be satisfied. If you let me explain, for example, if a woman is just sound judgment, she has a sound judgment, but she doesn't have menstruation,
My point is,
she
you
can still
shouldn't
get
be
married.
you shouldn't
But
be
anyways,
marrying
it's fine.
children
Thing is,
in this day and age,
in your Bible, it
in
clearly
the
stated that. To be
Iddah-
honest, in your
By the way,
Bible,
but-
in your
no, it
Bible,
doesn't.
it said
There
take the
is
little
an
girls for
Iddah
yourself.
In the Catholic-
Take the little girls for yourself
exactly,
in your own Old
exactly.
Testament.
Why you
So don't give us that.
jumping? Why you
Don't give us
jumping?
that as Muslims.
Why you jumping?
You literally said in your Bibles to take little girls for yourself.
Exactly.
The Hebrew word
We
is
can
what?
talk
Taf.
about that.
Taf.
We can
Come
talk
on,
about
man.
that.
That's ridiculous, man. Don't talk about Islam.
No,
You lot are
regardless-
hypocrites. You
No,
lot are
we're not
hypocrites.
hypocrites.
Don't talk
We're
about
not
Islam
hypocrites.
when in
We're
your
not
Bible
hypocrites.
it says take the
The
little
fact
wool
of
for
the
yourself
matter is
and you
that
kill babies and you kill women.
around the world
So allow that. And end the
are
conversation.
applying
Khalas, I'm gonna end the
today.
conversation. Goodbye. Finish.
Around the world are applying the Islam
Khalas, yeah, I'm gonna walk.
هلا والله يا اخي
Wallahi, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Life is majnoona. Wallahi, akhi. Have you helped me with this, bro?
Yeah, man.
Marrying a child is not loving your neighbor. Marrying a child
Wait,
is not
one
loving
second.
your neighbor.
What's the greatest commandment according to Jesus? Let's see if you know.
We're talking about this.
What is the
We're
greatest
talking about
commandment?
this.
You're bringing out love your neighbor. So I'm asking you
That's
what.
the second commandment.
What's the first
Is
commandment?
it loving to take her
What's the
baby?
greatest commandment?
Is it loving to take her
What's
baby?
the greatest
It's
commandment?
not loving. And
What's the
people
greatest
are finding
commandment?
Today in 2024.
What is the greatest commandment according to
In
Jesus?
2024, there are child marriages.
What is
There Islamic child marriages
what is the
happening
greatest
today.
commandment according to Jesus?
Babies are dying through childbirth.
What is the greatest commandment
What
according to
is
Jesus?
pride in your Sharia
What
law?
is the greatest commandment according to Jesus?
What's
You're,
it got to do with
you're telling me the
Jesus?
second greatest commandment. What's the first greatest
I
commandment?
already said the first. You're not listening.
What is it?
The first is to love God with
Nope,
your whole
nope,
heart, soul,
nope,
and mind.
nope, nope.
This is the
I'm going to
first
bring
and
up the
greatest
evidence for you.
commandment.
And this is why
Second
many
commandment is
Christians, not all
like
Christians,
this. Love
they
your
don't love
neighbor
Jesus.
as
They don't even
yourself.
know the greatest commandment.
Love your neighbor as
Let's see.
yourself.
Let's see. What did you say again? What's the greatest commandment?
Love God with your whole heart, soul, and
Nope,
mind.
nope. See, you're misquoting Jesus. Let's see. Let's see. Right. Oh, so you're going to Google now. Yeah, I know.
I'm not googling it. I'm
Yeah.
googling Hadith Ida because I can't find
Oh,
it.
but you can't get your
Where grown men can
if you
go
really
to
love your
church
Master Jesus
and
Christ, you would
divorce
know the
them.
greatest
This is
commandment.
the Ida.
Let's see,
It's
Mark,
for
the greatest
divorces,
commandment. What do you
yeah?
say is the
And
greatest
to
commandment
ensure
according to Jesus?
that if a woman
What's
is
the greatest
pregnant,
commandment?
that you know that
What
they're
is the greatest
pregnant.
commandment according to
That's
Jesus?
what divorce Ida
She
is
said,
for. That is
love
what
your
I'm
God with
googling.
all your heart, with all your soul.
I don't need to.
What is the greatest commandment according to Jesus?
He's like, boy.
Love God with your whole
Nope,
heart, soul, and
nope,
mind.
nope, nope. Let me get the evidence. Let me get the evidence here. You see, you're butchering. You're butchering.
Are you butchering?
Right, yes. So,
See how they're changing the subject?
you're the one that brought to love your neighbor, and that's not the greatest commandment. That's the second greatest commandment. So you can't even get the first greatest commandment.
No, I
Right,
said that.
right. So let's see.
said that.
One of the
I said
teachers.
that.
Let's listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked him, "Of all the commandments, which is the most important one?" What was your response? Love your God with all your heart. And you misquoted Jesus. The most important one, answered Jesus, is, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one, and your Lord, love your Lord with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength." The second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. So you misquoted. You misquoted the first part of the greatest commandment. Why? Because she's a Trinitarian Christian, and that's the reason why they've been programmed not to get the first part correct. So let's carry on.
What's the first law? What is the first law?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love your Lord, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. Now, you're Trinitarian. You're Trinitarian.
Basic comprehension.
You're Trinitarian.
The Lord your God is one, is a revealed truth. It's a fact.
I agree. So
It's not a commandment.
I agree. It is a commandment.
It's not a commandment.
Do you know?
God
Do
being
you have
one,
comprehension issues?
God being one is not commandment. That's a fact.
Are you Trinitarian?
God being one is not. Is
Are you
not a
Trinitarian?
commandment.
Are you
It's a
Trinitarian
fact.
Christian? Are you Trinitarian Christian?
God being one is not a commandment.
Are you
it's
a
fact.
Trinitarian Christian?
God being one.
Are you a Trinitarian
God
Christian? Yes or
being
no?
one, God
Can you answer a
being
simple
one,
question?
God
Are you a
being
Trinitarian
one,
Christian, madam?
He lied.
God
He
being
was
one.
lying.
God being one.
Mark chapter 12, verse
God being one
29.
is not a commandment.
You're on the camera. You're on the camera. There you go.
God being one
There you
is
go.
not a commandment. That
So,
is
madam, are you a Trinitarian?
That is a fact.
Are you a Trinitarian?
That is a fact.
Are you a Trinitarian?
Because you got it wrong.
Are you a
And we
Trinitarian?
need to establish that first. Because you said.
I got wrong.
Yes, you said that the first commandment.
Yeah. I got wrong. Yeah,
No. He
you.
said that the first commandment
Yes,
is
yes.
the Lord your God is one. That in itself is not a commandment, that's a fact.
not a commandment.
The
What?
commandment
That's
comes
not a
next.
commandment, you-
Love God with your whole heart, soul, and mind.
You said originally.
You just. This is what you said
I know I
originally.
said that.
I'm on her side, not yours, bro.
Wait, hang on. Hang on.
You read out
fact
her
is you
words
don't
and
know
said
what
Hang on.
Hang on.
Hang on.
Hang
on. What is the subtitle? What's the subtitle? What's the subsection? It's called the greatest commandment. It's called the greatest commandment. Look. It's called the greatest commandment.
Up to you, bro.
You don't understand this.
Where did Jesus quote from? Here it is, the Lord of the Lord is one. No, answer the question.
The Lord
Where
your God is one.
Where from?
Is that a commandment or a statement?
It's a commandment.
I can't help
Okay, do you know Deuteronomy
I can't help
chapter?
you.
Do you know Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4? Called the
How
Shema.
is that a commandment?
Huh?
How is God being one?
Okay,
a
so let's
commandment?
see what Jesus says. Let's see what the teacher of the law asked. Right.
How is God being one a commandment?
I will let the Bible speak.
Is it a commandment or is it a fact?
I'll let the Bible speak. I'll let the Bible
Is it
speak.
a commandment or a fact?
I'll let the Bible speak. I'll let the Bible speak. So let's see. The teacher of the law asked. Let me get the quotation. Oh yeah, embarrassment for you. No.
Because I quoted it correctly. The commandment
Right.
is to love your God.
No. The
God
teacher.
being one is not a commandment.
Listen to this.
It's a statement.
Listen to this very carefully.
It's a statement of
Listen
God
to this
and
very.
His nature.
Listen to this
That,
very
yes,
carefully.
He's a triune
What did the
God.
teacher of the law ask? What did the teacher of the law ask Jesus? Let's see if you really listen.
This man said- You don't
You
even
can
know
laugh all
what
you
a
like.
commandment is.
You can laugh all you
You
like.
don't even know what a commandment
What
is.
did the
Why are you
teacher?
trying to
What
teach
did
me?
the teacher of the
Let's
law
not
ask
point, let's
Jesus?
just get on with
I
it.
want you to tell me. What did the teacher of the law ask Jesus?
Put it in your hand, read it.
No. You know, I got wrong. I'm just going by what you
You
said.
admitted that you
What?
did it wrong.
What?
Yeah, you did.
What did the teacher of the law ask
Read it.
Jesus?
What's your
What
point?
did the teacher of the law ask Jesus? Let's see if you.
Which time?
Oh, which
Which
time?
time?
Is that what the teacher of the law asked? Which time?
Yeah, they asked Jesus so many
You see, this is what Allah says in the Quran. The Christians, they twist their tongues, they're distorting.
Read it exactly.
Yes, you're
read
twisting.
It exactly again. What you read last time, read it
Madam,
again.
you're not doing yourself
People
any
ask
favor,
Jesus
madam.
So many questions. Which
Yeah,
situation are you
and which
talking
question
about?
did the teacher of the law ask
They
Jesus?
asked him so many questions.
No,
Which
this one,
question?
Mark chapter 12. What did
Okay, then
what
you
did the
go
teacher
Let
of the
him
law
read
ask
it again,
Jesus?
'cause it proves your point.
I'm confused.
It proves
Yeah.
your point. If he reads
Yeah.
it again, you're right.
Mark
Yeah.
chapter 12 verse 1.
29. What did the teacher of the law ask Jesus? And did Jesus clarify, "Hear, O Israel, Lord, the God, Lord is one," is not the greatest commandment? You add that. You added that. You added that. Yes. Oh dear. Yes. Oh dear.
You don't understand.
Oh dear, madam. Oh dear, madam. Let's open it up. Read
God
it. Read it.
is not a commandment. God being one is not a commandment.
Yeah.
That's a truth.
What is the greatest?
What part of that don't you understand?
Madam, read it. Read it. I'll let the Bible speak. I don't want to give my own interpretation.
One more time,
You get it?
And then that's the end of that.
I know. One more
I
time.
need to try and
But
find
I don't like to
something
give my own interpretation. I'll let the Bible speak.
It says,
What did the teacher of the
one
law
of the
ask?
scribes
Yes.
came up and heard them disputing with one another.
Mm.
And seeing that he answered them well, asked him,
Yes.
which commandment is the most important of all?
Exactly. So what's his
Jesus
response?
answered, the most important is, in quotes, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And you shall love the Lord
Yes.
your God
Yes.
with all your heart,
Yes.
and with all your soul,
Yes.
and with all your mind,
Yes.
and with all your strength."
Yes.
That's the first commandment. To
Thank
love
you. That's the
God.
first commandment.
Statement
To love God.
followed by an
But you never mentioned the earlier part. Why didn't you?
He asked me for the commandment.
It's a statement. It's a statement followed by an
Sir,
instruction.
have you read Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse
Is
4?
that a statement followed by an instruction?
That is the greatest commandment according to Moses. What are you on about? What are you on about? Have you read Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4? What is the greatest
Is it a
commandment?
statement followed by an instruction?
Is a commandment a statement? Is it a factual statement? Is a commandment a factual statement? Yes or no? What does commandment mean?
Please answer my question before.
I am answering your question.
Move on.
It's a comprehension issue. What does commandment mean? If I say ordering, it's a fact anyway.
100%.
So we're not talking semantics here. We're not talking about semantics here. Just admit that you lot butchered Jesus Christ, your Lord and Master. You can't even quote properly. So don't come to us and say we Muslims don't love Jesus, because we don't misquote Jesus.
She didn't misquote it.
She did, because
said
I asked
exactly what you
her.
said.
No, she missed the first part, and she quoted the second part. By the way, I've been giving Christian Dawah for more than 6 years, and I asked every Christian what is the greatest commandment, and they all got shocked because they said exactly what she said. I didn't know about that. So my question to you is, why do you think the Christians respond like she did? Because you've been programmed. You've been programmed. That's
I
why.
didn't hear anything
What did
wrong
you
with it.
say?
It made complete sense to me what she said.
What did you
Did she
say?
quote in context?
Nothing that she said
No,
goes
answer the
against your
question.
statement.
Did she quote in context?
It was a statement
Or did she
followed by an
quote out of
instruction.
context?
Incomplete context.
Is incomplete. So you didn't.
In complete context.
No,
not that the context
I
is
said
incomplete.
incomplete.
She said what she said and it meant what it meant. It's the same as what you
Wallahi. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 78, that there are those Christians who twist their tongues, lisan, translation, distorting. This is exactly what you're doing right now. You're distorting. You can't admit that you got the greatest commandment wrong?
I just heard this
Go to the
conversation.
dictionary.
Sorry?
and
I heard
type
what's going on. I understand.
So why are you chipping in then? Why are you chipping in? You don't even know the full insight.
It is something that you should
Okay, sir.
follow.
So please, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so
God be
Okay, sir.
one.
Good. So what I advise you to do, sir, is don't go by what the church tells you. You study the Bible yourself. And I'm not misquoting the Bible. I'm quoting exactly what Jesus says. Jesus said the greatest commandment, the most important one is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord of God, the Lord is one. And you shall love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind.
Good.
But she skipped the first part.
Okay, right.
Simple.
So let's see. Let's see the book of Deuteronomy. You skipped it. You skipped it. You skipped it.
Is that a commandment?
You skipped it. You admit it. Admit it. Admit it. Admit it. Right.
Answer the question. Is that a
Right.
commandment?
right, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to trigger you. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to like have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a commandment?
No.
Is that a commandment? Is that a commandment?
Okay.
Is it a commandment?
Okay, madam.
Is it a commandment?
Can I ask you a question?
They don't want to
Can I ask you a question? Did
because you lot are so desperate.
you know what? It's such a shame that a Christian who's supposed to love Jesus misquotes Jesus and didn't complete. You did.
No, I never.
You did.
You asked me for the
The gentleman is a witness. Everyone is witness here.
Anyway, I think I've said enough. If you
I
don't
didn't say
believe
she
that
misquoted
it's
anything.
like the Lord
Of course you would say that. So my question. Wait. Where did Jesus get that commandment from? Did he get it on the spot? Where did he get it from? Let's see if you know. Here it is, the Lord is God, the Lord is one. Is that something new?
No matter what that answer is,
It's been preached in the Old Testament.
Right. And if you go to Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4, it says here, these are the commands, decrees and laws the Lord your God directed me to teach you to observe in the land that you're crossing the Jordan to possess, so that you, your children and their children after them may fear the Lord your God as long as you live, by keeping all his decrees and commands that I give you, and so that you may enjoy long life. Hear Israel, and be careful to obey, so that it may go well with you, and that you may increase greatly in a land flowing with milk and honey, just as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, promised you. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your soul. This is from Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4. So here, the book of Deuteronomy is a book of orders, decrees and commands. So you're just talking semantics here, because what Jesus is saying is exactly what Moses is saying. And you know what the Jews do? Every morning they wake up and this is their declaration of faith. It's called the Shema.
That the Lord your God is one.
Yes.
Within that statement.
Yes.
Where's the commandment?
There. Deuteronomy chapter 6.
No.
The book of Deuteronomy.
The Lord your God is one.
What
Where's
does
the
Deuteronomy mean?
commandment?
What does Deuteronomy mean?
Where's the commandment?
Look, let's break it down. What does
Where's the
Deuteronomy?
commandment?
There you go.
No,
Read it for
the
yourself.
Lord your God is one.
Read
Where is
it.
the
Wallahi. You know Allah says in the Quran, even if you give them signs after signs, they will never believe. And according to Matthew chapter 13 verse 13, according to Matthew chapter 13 verse 13, what did Jesus say? Hear they hear not, see they see not, neither shall they understand. So have a good day, madam. May Allah guide you. May Allah guide you. May Allah guide you.